What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the KBR Sports YouTube channel. Thanks for tuning in to today's YouTube video. If you're not already subscribed, make sure you guys join the family by hitting the subscribe button. Make sure you hit the post notification bell so you don't miss any future KBR Sports videos. And make sure you drop a like on this video to support the channel. Every little like is appreciated. Every comment is appreciated. So make sure you guys go ahead and do that, as well as share the video with a friend. You might have a friend who's a fan of Dame Dollar, who the video is titled after, and who is the subject matter of this video. So go ahead, guys. Make sure you share this video with a friend as well. And let's jump into the video, because Damian Lillard, man, there's only so many words I can use to describe him at this point. I dropped a video at one point saying that he was a top 10 player in the NBA. I've dropped a video at one point saying that if he's a superstar, or that he was a superstar, whether you like it or not, pretty much. And at this point, I'm running out of superlatives to describe his game and how clutch he is and how good of a player Damian Lillard is. I think one thing that the game against the Warriors showed me is just, because Damian, he was struggling a lot throughout the game, but it also goes to show you just how in a way volatile his game can be. Like, and I don't mean volatile in a negative way. When I say volatile, I mean just how explosive it can be at a drop of a hat. He had 22 points to finish the game. He was 6 of 17 from the field, 3 of 10 from 3, with 6 assists. The Blazers were plus 6 points better than the Warriors when he was on the court, and the Warriors did their best job of containing him. And throughout the game, they were doing things like trapping Dame. They were trapping all his pick and rolls. They were making sure they were doing ball denials and such things to try and keep the ball out of his hands. But obviously, when you're a great player, you're going to find a way to make an impact on the game, which is what Dame did. So let's just break down a couple of plays from last night's game, and let's look into how Damian Lillard was able to be effective, and obviously get into eventually talking about the game winner that he hit last night. That was just incredible. From a playmaking standpoint, he was being forced to get the ball out of his hands. The Warriors were doubling him, they were trapping him, they were front facing him, they just to try and make sure the ball was going elsewhere on the court. This season, he has really highlighted Dame as a playmaker, because he's drawing so much attention. He's creating plays for everyone else on the court, which is why he's averaging a career high 8 assists, which is, I think it matches his career high from last year of averaging 8 assists. So when you look at that, you're realizing, okay, he's becoming more into that playmaker role, becoming more of that visionary, creating for other guys as opposed to just creating his own shot. Especially with CJ McCollum and Yusuf Nurkic and guys like that missing games, a lot more falls on Damian Lillard's shoulders. And you got to give credit to him, man. Damian Lillard has one of the top 8 records in the league right now, and a large part of that is the fact that he's playing at such a high level, and he has Portland in this position right now, and they're still in the playoff contention in the Western Conference, which is incredible if you were to consider the fact they're missing CJ and Yusuf Nurkic. Let's talk a little bit more about his playmaking, because it's just beautiful to watch. As you can see on this pick and roll with Enes Kanter, the Warriors double him to force the ball out of his hands. Mind you, Dame is 6'3", okay, and makes a beautiful pass around the 2 defenders to find an open Carmelo Anthony for 3, which is just ridiculous. And I think a lot of times that gets lost on things when people see a guy make a pass like this, and he's being surrounded by guys that are like 6'6", 6'7", 6'8", and he's 6'2", 6'3", and he's able to get a pass cross court accurately and hit Carmelo in his shooting pocket, and he gets an easy 3. And those are little things Damian is doing that improves the Blazers, making them such a better team and putting his teammates in positions to score. But now let's look at the fact of how he's able to score even though he's drawing so much attention. When you're seeing here, the goal of the Warriors defense on this play is to keep the ball out of Damian's hands. Damian has the ball, he gives it up at one point, and now Kent Bazemore, his goal, he's just trying to keep the ball out of Damian's hands. And in this scenario here, when you see him give the ball up to Derrick Jones Jr. and set the brush screen, Kent Bazemore is trying to prevent the pass back to him, and he's guarding him topside, and he's trying to cut off Dame from being able to go around and catch the ball again to be able to shoot a 3 or something that's sort of off of Derrick Jones Jr. So what Dame decides to do, since Kent Bazemore is ball denying him topside, Dame cuts backside, since obviously Kent Bazemore is not guarding on that side of his body, and that leaves an open window for the pass to come in, and with no visible man protecting the rim. So you give credit to Dame for being willing to make that adjustment and be able to cut backside when you see that the defense is kind of lacking on you, or they're playing you a certain way. Maybe they're over aggressive, they're overplaying your ability to catch the ball and hit a 3 coming off that screen from Derrick Jones Jr. So now when they're overplaying that, you get another option of getting that back cut in. With the Warriors not really having a paint presence like that, it's an easy layup for Dame. Before the game winner that he hit, hit. The clutch three before that, Damian comes off the Ronnie Hood screen and Kent Bazemore defends it correctly, going over the top as you should, since Damian can shoot from long range. But Andrew Wiggins is the person that's pretty much lacking here on defense. He's back near the top of the key, giving up at least 4 feet of space between him and Dame, which allows Damian to rise up with no hesitation and drain the shot. See, if Andrew Wiggins is playing up a little closer there, he absorbs that space from Damian and more likely forces Damian to drive, or at least makes Damian expend more energy to create the space. You would like to see Wiggins up on this play and meeting Damian on the other side of the screen, similar to how Tobias Harris shows here in this Philly play, and allows Ben Simmons to recover on defense. Because if you show, then now either Damian can make that pass to the screener, or maybe he waits and the initial defender can recover back, and now now more time is off the shot clock, and now Damian has to create a shot for himself in that same situation. Now let's get down to talking about the game winner, because the game winner, now let me give you guys some stats too, because when it comes down to clutch time, I mean, Dame time is like a real thing, okay? And it's pretty amazing how good he is in these moments. I mean, he scores 50.5% of his team's points in clutch time. Lillard is second in clutch scoring at 5.1 points per game at a 61.4% clip in those clutch moments. And you got to think, people know he's getting the ball. Like, it's not a surprise who's going to be shooting the shot. It's Dame time, as we all know. So he's shooting 61.4% in these moments, which is amazing. And in those moments, Dame is shooting 57% from deep in those clutch moments. So you kind of just got to pay respect to Dame in these moments and realize when I say, like, I want to give that context to my advice and my analysis on this last play. At the end of the day, it's just a cold shot. Like, it's a cold-hearted shot. It's a tough shot, man. You give Dame kudos for making that shot. But as the defense, you would love to see Kent Bazemore crowd Dame here. Take him out of his rhythm and comfort zone, so he's pulling up for the shot out of rhythm. He lets Dame dribble some, get to his comfort zone, and rise up. You know what I mean? Like, when you're a basketball player and you can get that flow in your dribble and you practice this shot multiple times, you practice that gather, you practice that step back, all that stuff, you're in rhythm. So that shot is pretty much just a routine shot for you. Especially after watching how Ben Simmons defended Dame's step backs in winning time when they played the Sixers a few weeks ago. Simmons is all over Dame and takes away any airspace to where Dame can get a good look at the hoop. Then you see Dame start to drive and plant that right foot for the step back. But Simmons is in his pocket, in his shooting pocket, and at an angle where he cuts off Dame's sight line, so there's no space at all for him to see the basket. This forces Dame to drive to the hoop and force a contested floater at an awkward angle. So that's one of those things that, depending on the level of defense that you have, obviously Ben Simmons is one of the best defenders we have in this league, so of course he was able to guard Dame efficiently, and you're not running around a lot of Ben Simmons in the league nowadays, but it's a copycat league, so a lot of guys take a lot of things from other teams when they see something that a team does that might work in that instance or something of that sort. And that's what I would have advised Kent Bazemore to do, because even if you crowd Dame, he drives on you, gets past you, whatever the case might be, you have help defense. That's what the help defense is there for. And the reason why I say this is because if, let's say, Dame passes out to another guy, I'm pretty sure that, because I saw a stat that, and I think Dame attempts 37% of Portland's shots in clutch time, but he converts 45% of the team's overall clutch time buckets. So that means he's converting like a good majority of their clutch time shots. So that means a lot of those other guys aren't stepping up in those moments. And just depending on who you help off of, I think it's like, we'll take anybody else, right? Like anybody other than that guy beating us and ending the game for us, and essentially in that moment. So that's just my 2 cents on it. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. Damian Lillard is clutch, man. He's a dog. He's just nasty, and I love watching him game in and game out. He definitely deserves the respect that a lot of people like LeBron James and so on say he deserves. So guys, make sure you guys comment down below your thoughts. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, leave a like on this video, and of course, until next time, guys, I'm out.